Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the BJ and Tuds Show. As always, joined by Tuds. Tuds, how's it going?
Good, man. Nice little surprise today with some Yankee
Yeah.
trades, so
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
Excited to talk about some the trade deadline.
Yeah. Let's save the trade deadline talk. Let's jump into some football. We're into training camp here. I'm starting to get really excited. This is when fantasy starts to pick up. This is when we start talking a little ball. So Debo finally got a deal.
Yep.
3 years, $72 million, I want to say.
I think, yeah, that sounds right.
$72 million. Obviously, because of the same class. So now you're comparing contracts with AJ Brown, DK. I'm missing the fourth.
Terry.
Who?
Terry.
No, not Harry.
Terry McLaurin, no?
Oh, I thought you said Harry, like N'Keal Harry. And I was
not N'Keal.
Hell no, you're not getting a deal. Yes, Terry. So also DK got a deal as well. I forget what the numbers were on that, but
I think he made 1 million more than I think Debo's was 71 million, and I think DK's was 72. I think he made $1 million more, if I'm remembering right.
3 years 72 for DK, and Debo's was, I know, 3 years. I want to say it was around in that 70 range.
I think he made almost the same.
71 and a half. So okay. Yeah, $500,000 more for DK. So I mean, I think they're all pretty comparable. All for around $25 million a year.
Yep.
Which, I mean, these receivers are starting to make more and more money each year, especially, Tyreek Hill setting the market at what he's getting $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Devontae's getting 29. I wouldn't be shocked next summer if we see Justin Jefferson in the 30 plus range.
Yeah.
Things could lock him up long term. What do you think this does for the 49ers? We'll start with Debo.
I think it sets them up very nice, especially introducing a new quarterback into your offense for this year.
Yep.
I think obviously the way they paid him, I don't see him being in the backfield nearly as much as last year.
No.
But I think that's okay. They have a lot of options to run in that backfield. They have Elijah Moore. They just drafted Terry
Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, who did I say? Elijah Moore. Elijah Mitchell. They just drafted Terry and Davis. Is that right?
Yeah, Terry and Davis Price or Price Davis or something like that. Yeah.
They have Jeff Wilson back. They have options. So I don't think keeping Debo out of the backfield is going to kill them.
No.
Especially with Trey Lance's talent with his arm as much as his legs. You get Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo down the field.
Yep.
That's going to make your offense that much better.
Agreed.
What I am surprised about the contracts is not like the contract amount, because they all make sense to me. They're all pretty good contracts. I'm shocked that out of those four, none of them switched teams. I'm very shocked that Terry, DK,
AJ Brown.
Debo, they all. Oh, okay, AJ Brown. Yeah, you're right. But I really thought either Terry or DK were going to go somewhere else.
And that's, I was just going to, when we brought up DK, I was going to say, pretty much either it was they trade him and get what they can for him to, somebody who has a good quarterback, or they pay him and he'll kind of, just hang out and maybe they figure it out. But
yeah, if I hadn't Seahawks, I would have got rid of him.
I would have shopped DK.
I think for that money, he's going to get exposed without a good quarterback.
I know you're a DK hater, not hater, but you
can say that. You can say it.
But no, I was surprised that he got the big deal. I definitely thought he was going to be on his way somewhere, either this offseason or next. But it is what it is. Some other camp news out of Tampa Bay, Ryan Jensen. I heard I don't know what he did to his knee, but I heard he tore it up pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's probably out for the season. I think that's kind of a bigger blow than most people think for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
if Ali Marpet didn't retire, I would say, okay, they're missing that one starter. Unfortunately, is the center. He touches the ball every play.
Mm-hmm.
But with Marpet gone, now Jensen gone, the middle of that offensive line is going to be a little vulnerable.
Yep.
And that's where you kill Tom Brady. We've seen it in the past. That's how you beat Tom Brady, is pressure up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see who they can find as a replacement and how that works.
Yeah, Marpet definitely hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
They did sign Shaq Barrett, who was a great fit for them, but now he's really the only person left that they have in that interior line.
Right.
I was already a little worried about this Bucs team. You saw how many injuries they suffered last year.
Right.
They're quite the older team in some position groups, and I think starting off with a huge injury like this early is not good for them this season.
No,
I think they're going to see a fair share of injuries in other positions too.
I agree. They are older. They also are much more experienced and all that. But I think, to your point, the fact the injury happened this early, it's not, I don't want to say bittersweet, because it definitely sucks. You lost an all-pro center.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact it did happen this early, you can get somebody in there and you can work on it now. I mean, preseason, I don't know when the first preseason game is, but you have this month to really figure out what your center position and what your offensive line is going to look like, instead of having it happen, towards the end of training camp and you only have a week or week and a half to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely better now.
Yes.
Rather than like week 6 where you got to rush and
right.
you only have a week of practice to get another guy situated. But just looking at that injury, Godwin coming off an injury.
Yep.
You got Brady and Julio, two very old players in that offense already.
Yep.
Fournette came off an injury late last year. I'm very worried for that team. I think everything is going to need to go right for them to make another strong push. And I feel like the odds are not in their favor this year.
Sure.
Another reason I'm on the Saints this year.
Right.
Not so much the Saints. It's a mix of the Saints, I think, making a big step, and the Bucs being a little worse than we think they will.
Sure. So let's get to the huge news here. Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Ruling comes in, he's only getting 6 games.
Yeah.
Now it was not the NFL's call. They hired a judge to make this, figure out what they want for a suspension. They can appeal, or Watson can appeal. I don't know why he would, but that is an option if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to fathom how, you look, Tom Brady gets 4 for allegedly deflating footballs. Calvin Ridley gets a whole season for betting on his own team to win a game in a $500 parlay.
Mm-hmm.
And Deshaun Watson has over 30 sexual violent allegations, and he only gets 6.
Yeah. It pisses me off a lot, just the inconsistency.
Yeah, and that's
because like you said, Tom Brady got 4 because it was cold out during a playoff game. Basically, that's basically what it came down to.
Right.
And then Deshaun Watson got only 2 more for 30 sexual assault, cases, basically. Right. So it's very frustrating from a player's view, especially Calvin Ridley. What do you think he's thinking today?
Right. And the whole Calvin Ridley thing, listen, I understand they have to kind of set a precedent on, you're in the league, you can't bet on games.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand that. But a year, that is extreme, especially when you're betting on his team to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
and it's much different when you're on the active roster betting, when you have an impact on the outcome.
Sure.
He's not even at the field when he was betting on those games.
But I do understand they have to set that precedent. However, it is extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost my train of thought, but just talking about it from, a football standpoint, like, forget the, inconsistencies in the suspensions and all that. You got to think the Browns have got to be pretty happy with that ruling.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
6 weeks of Jacoby Brissett. I know I want to say let's run through their schedule.
I know they're playing the Panthers week 1.
Yep, they play the Panthers. So they have the Panthers week 1 in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I think they very well could win that game.
I think that'll be a very good game.
They play the Jets week 2.
Okay.
I think they win that one.
Good.
Steelers week 3. I think they win that one. Falcons week 4. So I have them 4-0 to start the season with Jacoby Brissett. And then
Josh Rosen. Let them battle for a spot.
It's not gonna be. Then they play the Chargers. They'll lose to the Chargers. And then they play the Patriots. And I mean, I'm not trying to be biased. I think that'll be a tough game. They could win that, but you never know.
Sure.
But so you're looking at them being 5-1, 4-2, 3-3.
Right. That's a schedule you want to see with your quarterback out for those first 6 weeks.
Yep. I mean, and then you're jumping right into 2 divisional games when it gets back with the Ravens and the Bengals. I just think from the Browns standpoint, they have to be like, okay, you know what? I don't think that's a bad ruling for us.
Yeah, I think that's best case scenario for them. Not to mention they're paying him $1 million this year, as the way his contract structured. So I think that worked out very well for them. Who do you think's the biggest beneficiary in fantasy on that Browns offense now? Is it Amari Cooper
when he gets back?
When he gets back, Amari Cooper. You got David Bell, who goes from really nothing with Brissett, and now he has a chance to be something with Watson.
Yeah.
How does that affect Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? David Njoku.
I was going to say, I think Kareem Hunt might be one of the biggest beneficiaries. Because, I mean, Watson, the way he takes shots downfield, but he's a very smart quarterback.
Yeah.
So he's not afraid to check it down. Whereas, I mean, Brissett will as well.
That's what I'm thinking. I think Brissett, not even on him, I think the offense that would be set up with him starting would have a lot of checkdowns.
Yeah.
And I think they have to utilize a lot more.
So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be Hunt, but I mean, you got to think Brissett's going to heavily target Amari Cooper. So, I mean, is David Bell the number 2? Because that's who I would say.
I think with Watson, I think David Bell jumps tremendously up draft.
Yeah, right. He's got to be the one that gets that big boost with Watson for 11 games.
Because with Brissett, I didn't even want to touch Amari Cooper. With Watson, I'd be okay with the wide receiver 2 on my bench. Agreed.
And I think Brissett gets a lot more shit than he really deserves. I think he's not that bad. He's got 49 career touchdowns to 15 career interceptions. Like, he takes care of the football. He filled in for the Colts, and I think they made the playoffs.
Right, yeah.
I remember correctly.
He can win you games, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's not the long-term answer. I think he's a tremendous backup. I mean, and the fact he only has to start 6 games with 4 arguable cupcakes on the schedule.
Yeah.
I think you have to be pretty happy if you're a Browns fan.
Absolutely.
But any other camp news, NFL news you can think of?
I just got a text that apparently Najee Harris got hurt today.
Really?
I don't know how serious.
Really?
I'm looking it up right now. He left camp due to a foot injury.
Okay.
I don't think there's enough out yet. I think it just happened, so I don't think there's enough out yet.
Had his foot stepped on.
Okay.
I mean, Tomlin said Najee Harris got his foot stepped on, so they shut him down for the rest of the day. Not a big deal. Looks like it is his left foot.
Okay. That's something though.
Yeah, so nothing, but obvious. I mean, for that offense, he's going to be really important.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut him down for the rest of the week.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't blame him.
You don't want Benny Snell running out there with the ones.
No, you do not. No, you do not. No, and there's not much on the running back market, really.
No, not really at all.
I mean, there never is, really. I mean, you're always Rex Burkhead seems to
the running back market's really veterans that like you don't even think are in the league, and then they end up on someone's team mid-year. That's usually what happens.
Pretty much. Yeah. Who was that last year? Devonta Freeman.
Yep.
He was one of them. But
yeah.
Anyways, let's jump to some basketball. So
wait, before we do that, we have our football game.
Oh, you got a football game for me.
Yeah, the football game.
That is right. Okay, you should be able to share your screen. I forgot about that. My apologies.
No problem. So, a little different today.
Okay, so are these guys that like aren't on their primary team?
This is NFL players that are on teams you might have forgotten about.
Okay, so this is Des Bryant.
I will say all of these are big names.
Okay.
So I didn't make any obscure players that you have to really think about.
All right. That's AB.
Mm-hmm.
The one game in Miami. Oh, the visor throws me off. He looks too jacked.
I think he wore this number on his other teams too, if that helps.
I was going to say Brandon Marshall, but he looks too jacked. I'll go Brandon Marshall.
It is Brandon Marshall.
All right. That's Randy.
That's Randy, yep.
AP.
Yeah, that one's easy by the face. That's a better giveaway.
Demaryius Thomas.
Mm-hmm. This one could be tough.
That's not Jamal Charles.
It is Jamal Charles.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, since you're a Texas fan, it might be way easier for you.
Jamal Charles was also like my number one draft pick at like 5 years in a row in fantasy when he was on the Chiefs. I loved him.
Yeah.
Oh, who is that?
I think he has a pretty recognizable face too. This picture's not great though.
Is that Alshon Jeffrey?
No.
No, he's way too big to be Alshon.
Yeah, he's way too big.
Is that a tight end?
Nope, receiver.
Anquan Bolden didn't play for the Titans, right?
I don't think he did play for the.
I don't know who this one is. I can't.
I think Bolden played for the Bills. This dude used to play in the same division for the team he's very well known for. That should give it away.
Andre Johnson?
That's Andre Johnson. Yep.
Oh my! I forgot he played for the Titans.
Yeah, me too. Until I was looking at this stuff.
Kurt Warner.
Yep.
Donovan McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
Lev Bell.
Yep, Le'Veon Bell.
LaDainian.
Yep.
Frank Gore.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot he was a Jet. Who is
this one? Is the least iconic names of all of them. He's still an active player. Those are my hints.
Who is that? He looks really familiar.
He's not unknown for playing on the Bills.
Is that Robert Woods?
It is Robert Woods. This is pre-Bobby Trees when he was still Robert Woods.
Yeah, that was when he was Robert Woods. Jamal Lewis.
No.
Damn it. I was the only Ravens running back I could think of.
You love this guy.
I love this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know that for a fact.
You've mentioned him multiple times since we've been doing this.
Wait, that's Priest Holmes?
Yeah, just Priest Holmes. I didn't know he played for the Ravens.
I didn't either.
Well done.
Thank you.
See, that wasn't too hard.
No, that one was.
If I made it obscure names, that would have been impossible.
Oh, impossible.
Yeah.
So Priest Holmes, I thought he was deceased after Larry Johnson took over.
Uh-huh.
And then Andre Johnson, I totally forgot he played for the Titans.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
At all. He was a beast on the Texans. Loved him on the Texans.
Yes.
Was Cortland Finnegan on that Titans team when he was there?
Because
I know he beat the shit out of him.
Probably.
That's funny. That is funny. All right, let's jump to the NBA. Not really any news at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just hammer out our little basketball segment here. We're on small forwards.
Yes, we are. Top 10 small forwards going into 2022.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do.
Who do you have?
First one's OG and Anunoby.
Yep.
Anunoby.
Yep.
Great defender.
Yep. He's on mine.
And then both Bridges. Miles Bridges, even though he might not be in a jersey next year.
I didn't include him.
Okay. Because of the circumstances?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might never play in the NBA again.
Yeah, he might not. And then it's very tough for me he almost made my list, this guy. You know I'm a big fan, Mikal Bridges.
I have him as an honorable mention.
Yeah, just tremendous defender, can shoot the three.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Yeah.
just the role player you want. Just a perfect role player.
And another one I have on my honorable mention is Norman Powell.
Okay, yeah, I almost threw him on there, but he's right around that range.
Yeah, I think he's comparable to those guys there.
Yep, he is.
All right, so kick us off. What do you got at 10?
Number 10, I have Scotty Barnes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I probably should have put him in my honorable mentions.
Yeah. I think other people would have him higher. There's a lot of people very high on Scotty Barnes.
I love Scotty. I just don't think it's there next year. That's my only thing.
Yeah, I have him at 10 because I feel like he's just like right there. I think he still can show a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I think he showed that he can play in the league, but I think he still has some untapped potential to get up higher on this list. But I feel like 10's a fair spot for him for next year.
Yeah. So I have Chris Middleton at 10.
Oh wow.
Chris Middleton at 10.
Okay.
I think he is one of the more underrated players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have made a huge difference in that Milwaukee-Boston series in the playoffs.
Yep.
He is probably their primary shooter.
Yeah.
Like he's their best perimeter scorer, in my opinion, mid-range perimeter scorer, and he's one of their better wing defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he gets a little undersold nowadays.
The way you just described him, I'm surprised you don't have him a little higher.
There's a lot of good small forwards.
Yeah. 9, I have Andrew Wiggins.
I didn't have Wiggins on my list.
I could not put him on after after the whole last season. Really, he just completely revamped his career. He played phenomenal in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he showed what he can do. He showed what he can do on both sides of the ball again.
That one's on me. I probably should have put him on this list.
Fair.
Maybe at 10. You can battle him and Chris Middleton.
Okay.
So 9, I have DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
I know after the year he just had, it's tough to put him at 9. However, I don't think that repeats itself.
That's fair.
And going into next year, I like some other small forwards more than him.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to knock DeMar. I'm sure you have him higher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to argue with you because I know how talented he is. I think he's also one of the more underrated players in the league. I just think going into next year, he can't repeat what he did this year.
That's fair. Yep. 8, I have Brandon Ingram.
That's who I also have at 8.
I feel like he made a massive jump about 2 years ago in talent.
Mm-hmm.
Was really playing phenomenal, but I feel like he plateaued since then.
He has his games where he's like, pretty lights out, scoring 40, but he is that, he'll get you 20, 25 a night, inconsistent with the bigger ones and stuff like that.
Definitely inconsistent. And yeah, just on the trajectory he improved so much from when he was on the Lakers. And then in the past 2 years, we really haven't seen him grow anymore.
Right.
So,
agreed.
So going into 2022, I don't see a reason for me to put him higher than 8.
I agree.
7, I have Chris Middleton.
Okay, so you have Middleton higher.
Yep.
I don't hate that.
Just a tad. I just think he's so important to the Bucks in so many different ways.
Yep. I have Jimmy Butler 7.
Wow. Come on.
I know. And I'm probably more of a Jimmy lover than you.
Probably.
But regular season Jimmy Butler isn't playoff Jimmy Butler.
No.
So, I mean, if we're making a postseason list for next year, Jimmy Butler is probably at the top.
Yeah.
But just based on the regular season, I think the 6 names ahead of him will put up probably better numbers in the regular season.
Okay, you got to factor in the defense too, though.
I know, I agree, but I mean, besides who I have at 6, maybe not as good a defender as Jimmy. As Jimmy. The other ones are arguable, maybe.
Okay, and that was 7 for you.
Yep, 7.
Okay, I have.
Oh wait, I'm missing. I'm missing 5. So, yes, that was 7 for me. But so, all right, hold on. My numbers got messed up.
Okay.
So I have. We'll put Andrew Wiggins at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton at 9. DeRozan at 8. Ingram at 7. Jimmy Butler at 6.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're at 6.
Yes. My 6 is DeMar.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not going to argue with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is that good.
I do think he takes it. He's not going to have the year he had last year.
No, you just can't repeat that year.
You can't, especially we've seen like the like what player he is over the years, and he had a fantastic season last year, but there's no way he does that again.
Right. Exactly.
I still think he's a very important piece for the Bulls, though. I'm sure he'll still do fine.
Agreed. 5, I have Anthony Edwards.
I have Ant-Man at 5 as well.
Okay, and I think the top 4, you can put them anywhere you want.
Well, I might be missing one then because Jimmy Butler's my 4.
You know who you'll see who I bet you didn't include, but I don't blame you if you didn't include.
Because of a different position, possibly.
Maybe you'll see. So okay. Who do you have at 4?
Jimmy Butler.
Okay, I have Jason Tatum at 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely missing someone you have. I have Jason Tatum at 3.
Okay, I have LeBron at 3.
Mm-hmm.
The next guy is who I think you're missing.
Probably.
Who do you have?
LeBron's my 2.
I have Kawhi Leonard at 2.
I just didn't put in Kawhi. Yeah.
Yep. I think when he's healthy, you could even make an argument he's number 1 on this list.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would have Kawhi at 3 on my list.
Okay. Yeah.
I would bump Scotty Barnes off. I'd go Wiggins at 10. And then my top 3 would be Kawhi 3, LeBron 2, Kevin Durant 1.
Yeah. Right. And that's where I think, we've had this Jason Tatum discussion. I have KD number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just said that as well, right?
Yep.
This where that Jason Tatum discussion comes in. He's not on that superstar level those guys are on.
Yep.
So he has to be 4 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I have Tatum at 4 too with Kawhi. Yeah.
So, you can mix and match those top 3. If they're all healthy and playing well, it really doesn't matter who you have on your team.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends what you want.
Yeah. But you definitely want one of the 3 over Tatum for sure.
Right. If you want one of those 30, you want a 30-point scorer who's solid on defense and going to get you a bucket any possession he wants to, it's KD. You want a guy who's a little more balanced and does both tremendously, it's Kawhi. Or it's LeBron and he's going to be the best playmaker on the floor.
Yep.
So I think, maybe I'm a little low LeBron at 3, but honestly, KD and Kawhi Leonard are arguably some of the best players on the planet when they're healthy and playing really well.
Yeah.
So.
And going into next year, LeBron just gets a year older. So
Exactly. I agree.
All right, not bad at all for those.
Yeah, not bad. Let's get into some baseball. All right, so the reason I have my A's hat on, I just want to, let's just start with the Yankees, I guess.
Sure.
Frankie Montas, Trevino, however you say it. We needed another another starter. Needed a little more bullpen help with Trevino. Didn't give up Peraza. Huge.
Massive.
And they added that kid from the Cubs, Ross. However you say it.
F Ross, I think.
He looks solid from what I've seen.
Yep, he looks very good.
And then obviously Benintendi.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed the lefty outfield bat. They got it with Benintendi. They needed a starter. They got it with Montas, and they added 2 bullpen arms to help bolster the bullpen, especially with Michael King going down.
Yep.
I think that was a picture perfect deadline for the Yankees,
Yeah, it checked all the boxes.
right? It's not sexy.
You maybe didn't get the massive name that you wanted, but you didn't give up Volpe, Dominguez, or Peraza, so that's a win. That's a massive win.
Exactly. And I think they did everything they set out to do, and I think that's huge.
Yep. And Benintendi's a rental.
Yep.
Gave up really nothing for him because you're getting him for half a year.
Yep.
Efros, we gave up a good prospect, but Efros is a rookie, and he has 5 years of control on his contract.
Right.
And with the sinker he has and working with Matt Blake, I think he can become very dominant for the Yankees. He's also a throw sidearm too.
Yep.
I think he can be very effective, and with 5 years of control, that really balances out giving up a young prospect.
Yep.
And then with the Montas trade, you lost Waldichuk, you lost JP Sears, and 2 other players. So I think it was a fair trade.
Yeah.
I think Waldichuk's gonna be very good. He's been elite in the minors, but Montas, you have next year on contract with him too. Lou Trevino stinks, but I'm assuming they wanted us to take his contract with Montas.
Maybe.
But I think there's only up to go with Trevino, working with Matt Blake a little bit.
It's another arm.
It's another arm.
Which
so
they need. They do.
Yeah, I won't get too mad at that.
Do you trust Trevino or Aroldis Chapman?
Probably Trevino.
Right.
I'd rather neither of them pitch in the playoffs for us.
Fine.
But
fine.
Yeah, it checked all the boxes, and it makes sense for us. I'm happy with the trades.
Yep, I agree. Just some other trades around the league. The Astros, they got Trey Mancini, and this just in, they got Christian Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the Astros are kind of answering the call too, and kind of what they need. They need that another bat in the outfield for them, and catcher.
Yeah, their 2 big focuses were first base and catcher.
Yep.
I'm honestly a little relieved that it's just Vasquez, because I know they were in heavy talks with Wilson Contreras, the Cubs, Wilson Contreras.
Yes.
So I'd much rather have Vasquez on that team than Contreras.
Yes.
And then Mancini can play outfield, can DH, can play first. So I think that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, and I mean he can hit.
He can hit for sure. Yeah.
He's always been a good hitter.
So they definitely just improved. I don't think they're going to go after any pitching. They don't really need any pitching.
They have 6, 7 starting pitchers on the active roster or something like that.
Yeah. So it's definitely 2 good moves for them, but that doesn't scare me too much.
Yeah. Right.
It could have been a lot worse for the Yankees.
Agreed. This happened a little bit last week. The Mariners, they got Luis Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up a lot to get Castillo. 3 of their top 5 prospects to go get him.
Yeah. And obviously he's a great player, also with a year and a half of control left. But the difference in prospects that the Mariners gave up for Castillo compared to what the Yankees gave up for Montas, I'm going to take that all day. I wanted Castillo more than anyone, but looking at what you gave up compared to the skill level between Castillo and Montas, I'd much rather have the Montas deal.
Agreed. Now, I understand Castillo's having a better year than Montas.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand. Frankie's been struggling a little bit this year, where Castillo was an all-star.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, and you said this to me when I texted you about it. They gave up a lot for him, and I as a Yankees fan, I don't think you can be upset that we weren't willing to pay that price.
Mm-hmm. Especially the shortstop situation we have right now. IKF still has been below average defensively.
Yeah.
We need Peraza, who's ready now. I could see him up very soon for us. He's been hitting very well, and he's probably a better defender right now than IKF has been. And then Volpe, we obviously need him for next year.
Yep.
And moving forward. So
it
all made sense for us.
A deal I found interesting with the Brewers up 3 games in the division.
Yeah.
Giving Josh Hader to the Padres.
Mm-hmm. Super interesting trade.
Now, if I remember correctly, Hader hasn't been, the Josh Hader of the last few years this season.
I think what I saw was his past 13 innings, he's given up 10 runs.
Okay, that's not very good.
No, it's not. It's still a little odd, but they do have Devin Williams, who
Yes,
I'm sure they're more than comfortable putting in the closer role.
Yes, very good.
But it's very odd to trade away a closer of that caliber when you're first in your division right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting. And this kind of had a late development. The Angels said they were listening for offers on Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees apparently rumoredly made a serious offer.
Yeah, I did hear that, and I'm sure it was everyone in their top 10.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have solved 3 of your issues.
Yeah.
An outfielder, a lefty, and a pitcher.
Yeah.
So
can you imagine if that happened?
Well, I mean, you could say goodbye to Aaron Judge.
Yeah. But from what I heard, they were never going to trade him. They make so much money in international sales.
Oh, yeah.
Like the amount of money they get from Japan alone isn't worth trading, no matter what prospects you're going to get back. Because they know they're not going to be good either way.
Right.
So they're going to take the money they have now.
Right.
But I'm sure Ohtani at the end of his contract is gone.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, if you're the Angels, you got to at least, I know he's staying put this year, but you have to think about it.
Next trade deadline, they need to trade him for something.
You have to get something for him.
Yeah.
He's just too good of a player to be like, all right, we suck. We're just going to let you walk. Go get all those prospects.
Even next year with only half a year of control, they're going to get a shit ton for him just for a playoff push.
They have to, right?
Yep.
And then lastly, this just came in as well. The Braves signed Austin Riley to a 10-year, $212 million extension.
Yep.
It's a lot of money.
Very deserved though.
He's
that dude can fucking hit. Oh my God.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah. And he's not bad defensively. He was probably average defensively.
Yeah, he's an average defender, but he rakes.
But his bat is absurd. So.
Yeah, agreed. Did I miss any big trades? We're recording this on Monday night. We may get a lot of other ones
right
come tomorrow. I don't know when the deadline is officially. I want to say 3 or 4 like usual.
Very strange one just came in.
What?
The Red Sox are acquiring someone, not trading away.
Who?
Tommy Pham from the Reds.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe anything to get Jarren Duran out of center field?
Maybe. That's very strange to me.
Yeah, that's strange to me also. Speaking of the Red Sox, so do you think this means JD Martinez is sitting?
I think JD has to get moved. Makes no sense for the Sox to keep him, especially if they want to dish out the money for Bogarts and Devers after this season.
Or maybe that's why they're going to get Pham as well.
Mm-hmm. I think JD's gone for sure.
Yeah, I would think so too. But if they're buying, the thing is they're still what are they 5?
I think they're 3.5. I think they're 3.5 games out.
I mean,
the wild card.
That's not crazy if they want to be buyers.
I heard there were going to be a mix of both.
Okay.
And that the Pham trade makes sense that they're going to be sellers and buyers. I mean, they just traded Vasquez 20 minutes ago, so
yeah. Who's
clearly
catcher? They have a backup catcher who's pretty.
He's
bad.
not good.
No, he's pretty bad.
They have Connor Wong, who's the prospect they got in the Mookie trade, I think.
No, they have
Plawecki.
That's who it is. Yes, he stinks.
Who's horrible. So
yeah, he stinks. Anyways, so let's jump into our. We're gonna update. Kind of our mid-season playoff race. So I will share my screen.
And this could be completely invalidated by tomorrow night if Soto gets moved somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, those are my fantasy rankings. Where's my? That's not it either. All right, hold on. Bear with me. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're on it. I could do it.
All right. Perfect. All right. So do we want to start National League or American League?
Start American League.
Okay. Yankees number one. Correct.
Yankees number one. Yep. Not a lock though. Astros, I think, are 2 games behind them.
Astros, yeah, the Astros are right
A
there.
lot of time left.
They are 2.5 back.
Yep. We will go Yankees number one.
I want to let me type. There we go.
Jockeys.
So then, I mean, the Astros.
2, we got to go Houston.
3.
3 is going to be the winner of the
Central. So we're looking at
Minnesota.
They're only a game up on the Guardians, 2 up on the White Sox. You've given up on the White Sox.
Yeah.
So we'll go Twins.
I think Twins are winning that.
Okay. So now we're looking at the wild card. I think Toronto.
I think Toronto gets number 4.
Mariners 5.
I think Seattle goes 5. Told you Mariners were gonna make their way into the playoffs earlier on. 6, I think we go Tampa. Oh, there's no 7 seed, by the way.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Okay.
That was
first 2 have a bye. Yep.
My bad.
All right.
Okay, National League.
Dodgers at 1.
Yeah, has to be.
Got to be Dodgers. Yep.
2. Do you think the Braves catch the Mets? I think they do.
I don't know, man. They're up 3 games right now. I really don't.
Okay.
I really think the Mets are going to win the division.
All right,
the second best team.
Let's stay Mets then. Number 3. I think this is the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals are going to overtake it too.
I definitely think that's the Cardinals. And then I think this is probably Atlanta.
4 is Atlanta. Yep. I think
5.
I think 5's Padres.
Can get behind that. And then 6.
6 is either going to be Phillies or Milwaukee.
Brewers. You could maybe the Giants sneak in there.
Giants are still hanging around a little.
I think far back.
I think Milwaukee takes 6.
I like that as well.
Okay.
Oops. Can I not type? There we go. All righty. All right. Who do we like in the Rays Twins series?
That's actually not a bad series at all.
I think I like Tampa.
Yeah, I would go Tampa.
I just think they've been better in the playoffs recently. They got a lot of the same guys. Seattle and Toronto.
I know Seattle's been playing so well, but the Blue Jays have been playing even better. They're starting to click.
That's a tough series. I think I would lean the Blue Jays.
I think it's close, but I'll give the home field advantage to the Blue Jays.
Let's jump over here. Brewers, Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. I think they continue
Me
that.
too.
I like the Braves. I think this one stays chalk.
I like Braves. Obviously, Padres are, I think, the top team on Soto right now, which would change a lot of this. But with their rosters rosters right now, I'll go Braves.
I mean, if the Padres get Soto, then yeah, I think I would lean the Padres there.
And I think I'm going chalk for both of these.
Yeah,
both AL and NL.
I was just gonna say that to you. I think the Astros and the Yankees are better than those two teams there.
And I think the same on this side.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that as well.
Yeah.
Especially after the Braves knocking the Dodgers out last year.
Yep.
All right, who do we like? Astros, Yankees. I don't want to be a homer.
We
can't
gotta roll. Hey, we in our preseason one, we gave it to the Blue Jays. So
fair.
we're not all biased, but we're taking the Yanks right
Put
here.
them down. This one's kind of tough. I think I lean towards the Dodgers. They're just deeper and better at everything.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And the Mets' big moves so far have been Daniel Vogelbach and who did they just get? Tyler Naquin. So
Oh yeah.
So they haven't had the best deadline. I think the Dodgers are still going to make another move. So
Yeah.
I've heard the Dodgers linked to JD Martinez.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers are probably linked to everybody.
Well, they are. Yep. So Yankees, Dodgers. If I had to be completely honest, if I had to pick right now, I'm going Dodgers in 6.
I was gonna say the Dodgers as well.
Yep.
So there's our champ there, the Dodgers, in our little rematch there.
Dodgers be the Yankees in 6.
Yep. Now, who do you think would win the just kind of create a conversation here? Who do you think would be the World Series MVP in that one?
Hopefully not Mookie, because he already haunted us enough in Boston.
Mm.
I don't know, man.
I think I would.
The Dodgers are so deep; they have multiple options.
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I think it'd be Trey Turner.
That would have been my pick too. I would also say Trey Turner. He can beat you in so many ways.
He is like one of the weirdest, like 4.5, 5-tool players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he's 4.5. I like that.
You know what I like?
Half a power tool.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I like that.
He's got a lot of pop, but like, I don't know. I don't want to give him the full tool.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I would go Trey Turner as well.
Yeah. Let's talk a little Aaron Judge. Why didn't we pay him?
I mean, I'm still on their side.
No, I am as well. Obviously, they didn't think he'd be on pace. They'd be on pace to hit 62 home runs.
Right. No one knew he was going to have this season. We don't want to pay him until he's 40. I'm still on their side. We saw what we lived through this. Like, imagine if the Yankees re-signed Cano.
Oh,
they would have been in a huge hole.
Oh yeah.
And they're reliving this right now. Judge is obviously better than Cano was. Not by a shit ton. Like, Cano was very good with the Yankees.
Yeah.
He was the best second baseman in the league. But he's going to get paid handsomely somewhere else, is my prediction.
Probably.
The Yankees are going to offer more, but they're not going to match it. They're not going to go all the way up.
No. Do you want to hear a crazy fact?
Yes.
Through 102 games in Barry Bonds' 70 home run season, or was it 70 hit, right?
I think it's 72.
Bonds.
It might even be 77. I have 77 in my head.
I don't know about 77. Hold on. Let me get the facts before I spit this fact out. I want to say it was 71. Okay, 71.
Okay.
Through 102 games, which is what Aaron Judge is through right now.
Mm-hmm.
He had 41 home runs.
Wow.
Aaron Judge is at 41 home runs through 102 games as well.
That's pretty nuts. What do you think he finishes with?
I mean, what? He's hit 4 home runs in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I want to say 59-60.
I'm saying 63 is my number right now.
So you think he beats the record?
I do. That past series, just like, he's not slowing down. Like, post All-Star break, sometimes you see a little dip.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He was hotter that series than I've seen him in weeks. So he stayed so consistent.
And that's part of it, and the K numbers are down. Like he's putting the ball in play, which I think helps him stay kind of locked in.
Yep.
Because when you're just watching strikes go by, it's kind of like baseball is so mental as well.
Yeah.
So
and with the Yankees offense, he's seeing 5 at bats a game.
Yeah.
Even if he
at-bats.
doesn't hit one in his first 2 at bats, he's seeing a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
He's mentally in the game, and you'll see him hit one in his last at bat just as much.
The walk-off one where we got 2 hit,
Mhm.
So he hit the walk-off 1-0 win. I don't know who was pitching, but he did put it right down the middle, which I mean, you can't miss with Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
So I mean, that one was kind of a layup.
Yeah, it was.
Which I understand you're gonna have some of those. That's baseball, but
he has a long enough arm span where he also gets the slider at the ankles and just lofts it over the wall.
And the thing is, he is so strong that he can just flick his wrist and flick it out to opposite field, and especially in Yankee Stadium. Like,
yep, his last home run he had was a porch job.
I know we hate saying that, or hate when people say it's such a, it allows the most home runs or whatever. It's such a mini ballpark or whatever. But
yeah, but for individual home runs, I say that definitely plays a factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just hate when people use it for wins and losses.
Yeah,
because that doesn't make sense.
Like,
but
you're playing in the yard too, guys.
But for home run totals, it definitely plays a factor. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like you said one time, Aaron Judge is going to look real nice in a San Francisco Giants jersey next year.
Yep, he will.
Hey, good on him.
It looks like they might be traders, so they're looking to trade Rodon, trying to get some money off the books. He's from that area. I'm sure he'll be a Giant next year.
I mean, I don't hate the prediction.
Yeah.
Any other baseball news we should jump into?
I think that's all we got. I'll be on high alert for any more trades.
All righty. All right.
Red Sox just traded for Reese McGuire, the White Sox catcher.
The Red Sox just did?
Yep. So they traded Vasquez for a younger lefty catcher. I don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah. This year for them is very confusing.
Yeah.
So.
It's not as fun. As a Yankee fan, yeah, sure, it's fun when they're bad, but I love Yankee Sox end of September, like going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those are the best games when you're right next to each other in the division. They mean everything.
Yep. Like, I mean, literally last year.
Last year, that series in Boston,
like right before the wild card,
where Stan hit all the homers right before the wild card, was the best series of the year.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. I'm going to Sox Yanks, not this weekend, but next.
Nice.
Yep. So we hopefully I get a good pitching matchup. We'll see though.
Evaldi might be gone too.
Yeah, true. The last time I went to a Sox game, I saw Winkowski or whatever the hell his name is. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he's a bum.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. As always, thank you for joining, and we will see you next time.